Hello everybody, it's Vexation. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of Toravon, the Ice Watcher. He's the newest boss that has been added to VOA, and to be honest, he's a lot easier than I expected him to be. I'd also like to give a huge thanks to the guild for being on their toes and getting this down in about 3 minutes. The fight itself should take anywhere from 3 to 5 depending on your guild. All of us have at least tier 9.5 gear, so we're pretty well equipped to handle this kind of thing. There's just a few mechanics that I want to talk about that everyone needs to keep an eye out for while doing this fight. The first thing I'd like to point out is the attacks that Toravon does. For the tanks, he's going to be using a soft and rage type mechanic called Whiteout, and when it stacks, it increases frost damage taken by 25%. So basically, 4 stacks of Whiteout equals 100% increase of frost damage. The biggest thing here is that he's also going to do a series of attacks that are going to cause a lot of AoE damage if you're not careful, and they spawn as little blue fire pool. They look like little blue fire pools, but they actually create frost orbs that are going to go all around the raid and just start doing AoE damage. They are tauntable, however, once the taunt drops off, they reset their aggro table. So all of the ranged DPS is really going to want to focus on getting those down as soon as they spawn. The final thing he does, and it mostly applies to tanks, is that he applies a debuff called Frostbite. And Frostbite is applied every time Toravon swings at the tank, and the debuff deals frost damage over time and increases within each stack applied to the tank. Ideally, you'll want to go into this fight with 2 tanks, and they'll probably want to switch every 2 to 4 Frostbite debuffs depending on their gear score and how well equipped they are to handle this fight. By switching from one tank to the other, it'll just allow the debuff to drop off, the healer to get the tank back up to full health, and then they can just switch back and forth as necessary. Again, the biggest thing here is just going to be making sure everyone stays in a good position where they're away from frost orbs, and make sure that the healers know to move around as well to avoid the damage. For the tanks, just make sure you're paying attention to your stacks, because Frostbite, in addition to Whiteout, is going to be what probably kills you, and as soon as the tanks go down, the rest of the raid is just dead. It is easy, like I said, and I think most of the problems that people may encounter are going to be with just general positioning, ranged not staying out of the way of the frost orbs, healers not paying attention to who's getting hit with water if they're getting hit themselves. It's not too difficult, and I think you'll find it's actually really easy, and he does drop some great loot and frost badges, so good luck getting him down.